Hey everyone, it's Shay again from White Collar DIY. So recently we have started our fasting month. So I would like to take this opportunity to wish all of my Muslim friends happy fasting, happy Ramadan. So all this while in my previous videos I've been doing mostly easy DIY projects. So for this week I'm gonna do something more challenging, I feel, at least to me. I'm gonna try to make a trolley cabinet which I'll be putting beside my fridge. The first one you will need is 9mm plywood here. So definitely I'll be using more than this, but this is just for show. Next one, this 1x1 inch wood bar here. One thin plywood here, I'm using 6mm. 4 pieces Castor wheels. You can get this at any hardware store. So door handle here. Obviously some screws and nails. And for aesthetic value, I'm gonna use a gray spray paint here to match with my refrigerator. So this one is completely unnecessary, but I'm gonna use it anyway because I still have some of them. Some leather sheet here. You'll see throughout the video where we need this. Okay, let's get going.
I begin my process by measuring the wooden plank before cutting them with a jigsaw. So on the size, I'll be explaining in the next clip.
Alright, so once I'm done with the cutting, I should have two of this 2 feet times 9 inch plywood and 4 times 9 inch plywood here.
At the end of the 2 feet planks, I'm drilling a hole so that I can slot in the screws to connect it with the 4 feet planks later on. So this is how it looks like on the outer frame of the cabinet. Right now I'm measuring the size of the frame onto the thin plywood. For the shelf, we are going to need another 3 of 2 feet planks, so we are cutting them again using a jigsaw. And to sand them using an angle grinder and a sandpaper. The next step is to drill holes on each side of the frame so that we can slot in the screw onto the shelf. As how you can see in the video, all the planks are being lined up like this before screwing it to the outer frame of the cabinet.
So this is how it looks like right now, a 4-tiered trolley cabinet. The first part is done, so what I'm going to do next, so I'm going to cut the 1x1 inch wood, so that should be able to support all the condiments that I'm gonna put on this shelf here.
I have cut the wooden bar into 2 feet each before wrapping it with the leather sheet. So this process is completely unnecessary if you don't have them. Using some stack of wooden bar, this is how I measure the height of the bar where I need to install them. So now is the process of installing the door handle. I do apologize though for the bad angle here, but the idea is to just screw the door handle to the outer frame. Next, I'm attaching the Castor wheels onto the bottom side of the cabinet. Right now I'm cutting the thin plywood using a normal cutter. So it's always easier to use a cutter rather than a saw when you are cutting the plywood. And the final part is to put the thin plywood onto the back side of the cabinet and to attach it with a common nail.
So here it is, the trolley cabinet. As you can see here, it's now done. I've decided on a whim that I will paint the outer frame of this into black, as how you can see it here. So but overall, now that's done, let's get straight into the review. Since the process is long enough, I wouldn't take too much time on this review. I'm gonna keep it short. So on the time, it's taken me 4 hours. Right, so 4 hours, I'm gonna give it 3 stars. So on the cost, overall cost of this is 50 ringgit and 50 cent. You can see the breakdown here. For the cost, on item as big and as useful as this, I'm gonna give it a 1.5 star, because 50 ringgit for this, I think is a fair deal. So I'm gonna exclude this leather sheet here from the cost. So simply because it's not a crucial part of this project, I've added it in simply because I have it. And if you don't, then you can always paint this bar here with the color of your choice. So on the technical part of it, I'm not so used to woodworking just yet. So I've done a lot of amateur mistakes while doing this project. If you can see here, I have some gaps on the back side here. I'm not sure why, probably because of during the installation, some of this wood, they warp a little bit. So probably it's moving away from the exact measurement that I've done before. And also cutting the wood with minimal tools that I have in my garage. I do not have a table saw, I do not have any circular saws, so it's kind of challenging to just do it from Jigsaw, but it's doable nonetheless. Yep. So for technicality, 4 star, and for the satisfaction, it could have easily gotten a 5 star if it's not on the amateur mistakes that I've done. So with all those mistakes I'm learning, I'm gonna give it a 4 star on satisfaction. I know the longer I'm doing this, the better I get at it, and the results should be much better if I were to do it again. Because I know this is going to be very, very useful for my kitchen. I know my wife's gonna like it, so she can put all the condiments, all the bottles in a hidden place just beside my fridge. So I think to be able to give something that is useful for my wife, I think it satisfies me a lot. So that's it everyone for this week's video. I hope you enjoyed the process of me making this trolley cabinet. So if you are new to this channel, then the idea and the content behind it is someone like me who doesn't really know how to do DIY project, but trying to do it to give you an overview of how hard or how easy it was. If you like the content and the idea of my video, don't forget to subscribe, comment, share and like my video. So until then, ciao.